So Adam Weishaupt, it's hard for me to pronounce that, but he was a grandmaster of the Illuminati, one of the 10 most influential grandmasters. And the Illuminati actually talk about that in their books because they give out, they name many different of the grandmasters throughout their work, but they who is put in that position through merit. That's obviously part of the government that they run. Because they are a secret society, an advanced secret society. That is one of the advanced civilizations that are way beyond us, and they're coming to us to help us get to them, and that was the reason for the work of the Armageddon Conspiracy that they put out. And Adam Weishaupt was, on the internet, it paints him as a tyrannical monster, that was, part of the Illuminati who wanted to create a new world order, to be in control of everything. But he was a revolutionary and a hero who wanted to free the world from its enslavement. That is actually the truth of Adam Weishaupt. And they've written books about it too, because he did oppose tyrannical governments. He did he did oppose the government. You know what I'm saying? And then they paint and religion, and they paint that on the internet like it's some bad thing, but that's actually, he had the courage to do that. And he was part of the Illuminati, that are an organization that actually, very good representation actually is the Assassins and Assassin's Creed. Because when I played that video game, my soul awoken because I realized this is what I'm doing, because I'm fighting against the elite they actually represent in that game, which is the actual secret war going on, for the humanity's freedom and enlightenment. And so you can actually go to Assassin's Creed. There's tons of secrets in that as well, which is part of my mission too, is connecting the Illuminati with the Assassins, because they're the same. The Illuminati actually created the Assassins. They created all of the secret societies, the Freemasons, the Templars, the Cathars, all of the movements of the past that have been against the churches. All the secret societies they did create, but the Rosicrucians, they go through all this in their books. This was in the information that I was searching for. I found the Grail through finding the Illuminati. And now it's my mission to get the information out, because that's actually part of the hero's journey too, is the magic flight back into the world of common day. After receiving the reward that you received in the extraordinary world, and this knowledge is that reward for me, the pinnacle of my hero's journey. So, and there's so much that I'm gonna get into, because I'm committed to reading every book and talking about it, because this is going to free the world and humanity once people find out who the Illuminati really actually are. And then the 100th monkey happens with that, and even the Illuminati said it's actually a scientific study that it only takes 10% of a population to change it. And then once that, a certain amount agrees upon a specific Overton window, which is a common consensus agreement reality of minds, then the minds change. So it is my lifelong endeavor, as part of being part of the great work, which is becoming divine, a human being becoming divine, to get this information out, because it is the information that does that. So Adam Weishaupt was one of the Grand Masters, as was King Solomon. He was the first unofficial Grand Master. Um, Pythagoras, Heraclitus, Paracelsus, Hypatia, the astronomer, philosopher, female from Greece was one of them. Uh, uh, Leibniz, Hegel, Goethe, Goethe, um, and Weishaupt, um, and there obviously are others too. They name them. It's hard for me to fucking remember everything, to memorize everything, but I have a lot um, that I can talk about with this secret society of the enlightened ones, and they do know about my work because I found them through Patreon, the Armageddon Conspiracy, and then I contacted one of them, the writer David Sinclair is the one who I'm in contact with, and I write for them weekly for their Patreon, and then they'll basically respond to me in what I wrote about, which is the greatest reward and treasure that I could ever ask for, because their analyzation of everything is the most comprehensive, incredible, just brilliant understanding of reality, because they know how to explain it, and they explain that in all their books. So the first book is the Illuminati, and it obviously goes through the actual secret society of the Illuminati, because the Illuminati are not the evil ones. They're not the elite. People will keep saying that, but until that is not said anymore, that they stole that name, and then people think that that's them, like that they're the Illuminati, Jay-Z, and all the rich people, neocons, Freemasons, politicians, military, all that that are conspiring to create a new world order. Yes, that is part of the conspiracy. You know what I'm saying? That is happening, but those people are not the Illuminati. They are the elite. They are the elite dynastic family known as the Old World Order, and also the organization. That is what the enlightened ones refer to the Old World Order as, is the organization. Because there are about 6,000 of them that control the world, that are opposed by another 6,000 in the Illuminati. And definitely we're looking to grow those numbers. So this the Illuminati. So this book explains who the Illuminati are. The ancient regime is a satanic order. The Illuminati's noble and historic mission is to release man's higher self by destroying the archons, the princes of the world, who prosecute Satan's will and hold mankind in their thrall. Their corruption has reached its zenith in France. That diabolical tyranny is ripe for destruction. All that is required is a spark. We are that spark. Adam Weishaupt. I keep fucking that up. But that was Adam Weishaupt saying that, and those were actually his words. And he's acknowledging the ancient regime is a satanic order. He's saying that the powers that be control us is satanic. So in no way is he satanic. He's actually saying that the Illuminati's noble and historic mission is to release man's higher self, so that we can, because the archons are the ones that hold us in being wretched creatures, so the Illuminati's mission is to release man's divine spark, and they've done that through Mozart was one of them, and through creativity, brilliance, all that stuff. So that is just the thing that needs to be. I'm very emphatic about this though, because until someone starts talking about this, it's not going to be cleared up, and until people start realizing that the Illuminati are the heroes in this story, like, the world will not change. So that's really how important this information is, and that's why I'm committed and devoted to reading every single book and then talking about every single thing that I read, because that's my unfinished business that I'm in this incarnation for. So, Weishaupt seems to be an enthusiastic philanthropist. He is among those, as you know, the excellent Price and Priestley also are, who believe in the indefinite perfectibility of man. He thinks he may in time be rendered so perfect that he will be able to govern himself in every circumstance, so as to injure none, to do all the good he can, to leave government no occasion to exercise their powers over him, and of course to render political government useless. This, you know, is Goodwin's doctrine, and this is what Robinson, Burrell, and Morse had called a conspiracy against all government. Thomas Jefferson, who was one of the Illuminati too. He was also an Illuminatist. And right here he's talking about how Adam Weishaupt was an enthusiastic philanthropist, and he believed in the perfectibility of man. You know, he believed that we can become divine, which coincides with Gnosticism and illumination, that any human being can become God through the hero's journey and reincarnation. So this is the belief of the enlightened ones, you know, and take it or leave it how you want. If you're an Abrahamist, if you're a Christian, Judaism or Islam, this is going to be offensive to you. But it should be offensive that your religion, the patriarch of your religion, heard a voice in his head and was going to slit his son's throat. Because if any human being that wasn't a psychopath would not submit to those orders. So Abraham was like the world's first psychopath, and actually the Illuminati write a book about that, because they need to bring that up, because if people really thought about it, you know, because I've been a Christian and actually, you know, subscribe to the religion, and obviously know that's celebrated, you know what I'm saying, because he was going to obey God's command, which that ain't God, like that's the Demiurge, that's Satan, that keeps everybody enslaved here. That's going to be part of the more truth that's coming out, that the God of the Bible, Torah and Quran is actually Satan, and that's becoming more clear every day. So you know, I was a Christian. I did do the Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior thing, but I obviously was illuminated out of that, and I'll be talking about that more through the process of what I'm doing. But that I was talking about Abrahamism and the religions. So freeing yourself from the mainstream religions of Abrahamism, Judaism, and Islam is definitely part of the process. And in the Western world, that's where the main what everybody's believing. So that is just gonna fall, and then people are gonna look for something else to believe in and to, and illumination is that way, and it definitely ain't. It's not easy, but it is the true religion. It's the Grail religion. It does lead to the Grail, and the Illuminati talk about the Grail extensively in their writings, because they hold the secret. They hold a lot of actually artifacts that are part of the destiny of man, you know. And they actually explain actually what the Bonich manuscript is in one of their books, which, you know, people are still speculating over that, but they explain it. So this is the Illuminati. This is one of a series of books outlining the religion, politics, and philosophy of the ancient and controversial secret society known as the Illuminati, of which the Greek polymath Pythagoras was the first official Grand Master. The society exists to this day, and the author is a member, working under the pseudonym of Adam Weishaupt, the name of the Illuminati's most notorious Grand Master. The Illuminati's religion is the most highly developed expression of Gnosticism and is called Illumination, alternatively Illuminism, dedicated to the pursuit of enlightenment. It has many parallels with the Eastern religion of Hinduism, Buddhism, and Taoism. It rejects Abrahamic religions of faith, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, considering these the work of the Demiurge, an inferior, cruel, and wicked deity who deludes himself that he is the true God, and who has inflicted endless horrors on humanity. If you wish to judge yourself how deranged the Demiurge is, you need only read the Old Testament, the story of the Demiurge's involvement with his chosen people, the Hebrews. You may wonder why the God of all entered into a covenant, exclusive and partisan covenant, with a tribe in the Middle East several thousand years ago. Why he promised them a land, Canaan, that belonged to others, and why he then actively participated with them in a genocidal war against the Canaanites. Even more bizarrely, according to Christian theology, he then dispatched all of those Hebrews, whom he had supported so fanatically, to limbo, the edge of hell, when they died. They couldn't go to heaven because they were indelibly marked with original sin of Adam and Eve. Only the atonement provided by the agonizing death of God's Son, Jesus Christ, could wipe the slate clean and allow Hebrews to be released from limbo. But there was a catch. Only those who accepted Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior were eligible for paradise. Of course, the chosen people of God have almost entirely rejected Jesus Christ. Therefore, from the Christian perspective, nearly all of the chosen people are now in hell proper. Don't you find God's behavior distinctly odd? Indeed unbelievable. Don't alarm bells start ringing? Doesn't the behavior of this God sound rather more like what would be expected of Satan? Remember that this same God ordered Abraham to perform human sacrifice on his own son, Isaac. Abraham, rather than rejecting this monstrous command, rather than denouncing the creature that gave it as evil incarnate, agreed to butcher his own flesh and blood to demonstrate how slavishly and mindlessly obedient he was, the prototype of all psychopathic, fanatical believers. Does God's command to Abraham sound like something that would ever pass the lips of the true God? We pity you if you think it does, because you are surely a creature of the Demiurge and one of the legions of the damned. If, however, you doubt the credentials of the Abrahamic God, you may be receptive to the message of the Illuminati and our future-oriented, rational, scientific, mathematical, and dialectical religion of light, illumination. So that's just going through, the Illuminati's religion, how it's against Abrahamism. It has parallels with Hinduism, Buddhism, and Taoism. They have written books about all of those religions and how it has parallels with them, but it's obviously not those religions. It outlines, the whole part about how God, the whole chosen people thing of God, that is a main problem here on the world, is us who's the chosen ones of God, which Judaism, Islam, and Christians all are warring over that they are. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to continue warring over that. But they outline, the original sin, about how, Adam and Eve in the garden, and, Eve heard, was tempted by this. Actually, what the Gnostic tell is that the serpent, enlightened Eve, and freed Eve, and then God got pissed about that shit. And so that's the real story. And then, branded with original sin, and then the rest of humanity is condemned to hell, for something that Adam and Eve did. And that's just, it's crazy. It's really crazy. So this is all part of questioning authority, which questioning religion is going to be part of the enlightenment that's happening right now. Religion is losing its power because more and more people are questioning it. It only takes one generation to change the world, and this is the generation that's going to happen. It goes over, Abraham, and hearing the voice in his head telling him to slit his son's throat, and not rejecting that command, because if someone told me to do that, or if God told me to do that, I would know that that was not God. So that's what you got to get down to first, because even the people, I said I was Christian before, and they celebrated this Abraham. And, I even had Jehovah's Witnesses come up to my door, and, I asked them, I'm like, don't you think it's weird about Abraham hearing a voice in his head telling him to slit his son's throat? And then the Jehovah's Witnesses, well, they started going to a whole bunch of scriptures. They're like, yeah, but, heaven is coming, and, one of the other women was like, oh, I'm sure you have a son, don't you? You have a son, but I don't have a son. But they were just not able to question that, because they're so brainwashed by the religion. So that's like the danger of those religions, because either you can get out of them or you can't. And luckily I was able to do that through my study, and finding through studying Gnostic religion. I was studying all of them, but it led me to finding illumination and the Illuminati. The oldest secret society in the world. The Illuminati is an ancient secret society that seeks to bring about a new world order based on the principle that everyone has it within them to literally become God. The series of books, of which this is one, presents the Illuminati's radical vision for a new humanity, and provides a full account of the inner divinity of the human race. The 10 most influential Grand Masters of the Illuminati are King Solomon the Apostate, Pythagoras, Heraclitus, Empedocles, Simon Magus, Hypatia, Leibniz, Weishaupt, Goethe, and Hegel. If these figures are not of interest to you, then it would be pointless for you to venture any further into the world of the Illuminati. The series of books are presented by the Illuminati is not for the faint-hearted. It contains an enormous amount of philosophical, psychological, political, historical, scientific, and religious content. If you are interested in embarking on the spiritual journey of your life, then you have opened the door to a mansion of wonders. If, however, you have come in search of aliens, pan-dimensional lizards, and evil illuminists relentlessly plotting against the ordinary people of the world, then you have arrived at the wrong destination. Henry Makow, David Icke, and Alex Jones are the ilk, will be more of your taste. Our aim, as it has always been, is to overthrow the network of elite dynastic families of wealth and privilege that refer to as the Old World Order, that have run this world since the dawn of civilization, to their maximum advantage, and to the extreme detriment of the people. We are a radical and indeed revolutionary organization that seeks nothing less than to assist the ordinary men and women of the human race to ascend to the next stage of humanity's divine evolution. We describe this higher level as the community of gods, or the society of the divine. It's time to end the reign of the false prophets of religion, the fake gods of capitalism and democracy, the thwarty idols that we call celebrities. We're sick of bankers and traders, the lawyers and accountants, the politicians and their special advisors, the lobbyists and spin doctors, the agents and gatekeepers, the CEOs and chairmen, the advertisers, brand managers, and marketing men. We're sick of all the same faces of the top people and their relentless tricks and tactics to keep enriching themselves at the people's expenses. We're sick of George W. Bush's freedom and democracy that con people into voting for the rich and apologists for the rich. And we're sick of Abrahamic religions that keep billions of people on their knees as slaves to a psychotic tyrant masquerading as God. You know that humanity is capable of so much more. Isn't it time to bring about a real change? Isn't it time to seize our divine inheritance? We are the Illuminati. We are messengers of the true God, Abraxas. Our sacred mission is to bring humanity into full union with the true God, so that there is no longer any distinction between the human race and the divine essence. We are able to show how this can be achieved using Einstein's theories of special and general relativity and quantum mechanics. It's time for humanity to open its eyes to see the divine light for the first time. Our religion is called illumination. We have emerged from the shadows to cast the light of Abraxas on this benighted world, to bring illumination, enlightenment to everyone. Those who regard Adam Weishaupt, the most controversial Grand Master of the Illuminati, as a monster attempting to create a sinister new world order, should prepare to have their prejudices challenged. Weishaupt did indeed wish to overthrow conventional religion and all oppressive governments. He did indeed wish to create a new world order, one that would free humanity from the grip of the old world order that has satanically ruled the earth from the dawn of time and which continues to rule to this day. Weishaupt's mission is not over. The new world order is not built. The world is not illuminated. All of you who wish to bring an end to the end of corrupt rule of rich elites, such as those who run Wall Street, and evil dynasties such as the royal family of the United Kingdom or the Rothschild bankers, what are you prepared to do to assist our great endeavor to change this benighted world? It's time to dispel the darkness. It's time for illumination. It's time to go on a new quest for the Holy Grail. The stories of the Grail had been of the greatest importance to me since I had read them. At age 15, for the most time, I had an inkling that a great secret lay hidden behind those stories. I'm going to end this at 30, but I'm not done with that chapter. But, you know, you just got to realize, like, with me reading this, have you ever heard anything like this before? You have never heard these words before because they have never been spoken by anyone. And it's like, there is no question about who the enlightened ones are, because they are literally saying who they are through all that I have read. And they are the oldest secret society that hold the secret to the Grail, and they're explaining that through their books. So I'm going to end this there, and that's going to be my first video, and I will be getting into what's next, because the content is unlimited, and this is the blueprint and the way to freedom. And all that I want is for the world to know this. So until next time.